Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 Western, The Old Way. The film is directed by Brett Donahue and it stars Nicolas Cage and Ryan Kiera Armstrong. Now the film focuses on Nicolas Cage's character Colton Briggs, who is an aging gunslinger who hung up his guns some 20 years previously. We see at the beginning of the film that he was a cold-hearted killer many years ago who would kind of work for money. He was a bit of a mercenary and would kill people cold-bloodedly. And we see at the beginning he ends up killing a guy who's a criminal right in front of the guy's son. And this film focuses on his son who grows up 20 years later and decides to seek out Nicolas Cage's character to take out his vengeance. However, Nicolas Cage at this point in his life has found love, he's turned over a new leaf, he's married, and he's got a young daughter, and he's running the store in the local town. So he's tried to put his past behind him. But his past catches up with him, unfortunately. This gang of outlaws led by this guy who is now a man who saw him kill his father takes revenge on Nicolas Cage's wife, and then Nicolas Cage vows revenge to search down the killers. However, he has a young daughter to think of now, so he ends up taking her along in order to track them down and kind of keep her safe along the way. Right, what are my thoughts on The Old Way? Well, on the surface of this to many may look like Nicolas Cage kind of reverting back to form, if you like, and going back to B-movie status. You know, this is a Saban film release sort of thing, who are known for doing, reasonably high-budgeted movies. They're almost like, the canon of of this generation. Reasonably well-made movies with decent quality and stuff, but still fairly B-movie status. Very few of them will ever see the inside of a cinema, shall we say. But I have to say, I was really suitably impressed with this one. This was better than I was expecting it to be. And I'm a big fan of Westerns, and this is Nicolas Cage's first Western, and I'm a Nicolas Cage fan, so I was quite looking forward to checking this one out, but having fairly low expectations, I suppose it's fair to say. And this one did impress me, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was nicely made, a good idea, and I think it's propped up by in my opinion, some really good performances. I think Nicolas Cage here is excellent. I mean, even when you see him in a B movie, some of the ones that have been really poorly rated on IMDb, apart from a handful of films where his acting choices in those movies have been way off the mark, if you like, he nails this performance here of this cold-blooded killer who's tried to turn over a new leaf, but you can still see there's something about him. He doesn't interact with people the same, and there's a great scene in the film where he talks about it with his daughter around a campfire, about how he didn't have any emotions really when he was young, and he never felt fear and all this kind of stuff, and his daughter is very much the same. She didn't cry when her mother died at the beginning of the film. She kind of has the same emotional level as the Nicolas Cage character, very, very similar characters. And the two of them, I think, give a really great performance together. They both are very, very good together, some great chemistry, and Ryan Kiera Armstrong, who plays his daughter Brooke, I think was a very good little actress, and I think she's probably an actress to keep an eye on in the future, because I thought she was very, very good indeed. Both her and Nicolas Cage, for me, were the highlights of this film. But everybody else here in this film gives a good performance as well. We've got Clint Howard in here. Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother. You see him in many, many things over the years. He's in this film. He plays one of the outlaws that Nicolas Cage is chasing down. And you've got everybody here, I think, gives a decent performance. And it's quite an interesting film as well, in its sense of it's a fairly simple revenge story, yes, but it's not done in a overly conventional way. It's not like Nicolas Cage is like playing like a superhero cowboy like we used to see back in the day, the Clint Eastwood films and stuff. Much as I love them, he was almost invincible in those movies, you know what I mean? Pale Rider, for example, when he's walking around the town and just killing everybody, you never felt he was in danger. And this film is clever in how it does it, you know what I mean? It projects this character of Nicolas Cage, Colton Briggs, as legendary status. Everybody's heard of him, and everybody's afraid of him. So you get that from a lot of these characters. They're like, oh my God, is this Colton Briggs? You know what I mean? We need to be careful. He's really dangerous, all this kind of stuff. Everybody's got that and got a level of respect for him. And yes, he's still very talented and still very gifted, but you never get the sense in the big shootouts that he is invincible. The only time you ever get that sense is at the beginning of the movie when you see him 20 years previously when he's absolutely in his prime. So I think the film pitches it just right. You never actually think that Nicolas Cage is just going to mow over everybody like a Western Terminator or anything like that. Which adds, I think, to the movie, you know what I mean, to the emotional weight of the movie, and to you as an audience member watching it, never actually thinking, this is, he's just going to click his fingers and he's going to kill everybody, sort of thing. And it does, and it's actually quite brave, I think, in the ending that it gives us as well, because, like I say, in westerns in previous decades, it would have been a happy ending, happy ever after ending. Everyone would have walked away very, very happy. And then, film ends, everybody walks out with a big smile on the face. This film tries to do something different. Excuse me. Full of cold once again. And it gives a little bit of a different ending, but a more realistic ending. So what I'm saying, guys, if I can get my words out, is that I think this film is actually really, really pretty good. It surprised me. It's better than I imagined, and it's a film I definitely recommend you checking out. If you're a fan of westerns, or you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, I think you're going to like it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.